rocking First Take on the road with Max and Molly to HBCU Week's College Fair. Join us this Friday at the 76ers Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. You don't want to miss this First Take live broadcast. We'll have special guests like Irvin Magic Johnson, HBCU marching bands, a step show, Delaware State's drumline, live DJ, and come watch me crush Max, of course. That's live as well. Now listen to your boy Stephen A. Seeing us live is 10 times better, so don't you dare miss First Take in Wilmington, Delaware at the 76ers Fieldhouse this Friday. Doors open at 7 a.m. and it's free.
I mean, Jalen and I have always had a good, open relationship where we've always been able to talk. When we sat down yesterday, we talked about, what's going on as far as he and I, and, it's like anything else in this profession. It's behind us now. His focus is on playing and doing the best job for his teammates. My job being able to do the best job for the team. So, that's behind us right now.
All right, that was Doug Marrone saying that he and Jalen Ramsey are all goody. Jalen Ramsey, who despite requesting a trade earlier this week, is set to play tonight's pivotal AFC South matchup against the Titans. I asked the guys about this earlier, Damian, so I will start with you here. What are the chances Jacksonville and Jalen work things out?
I don't see it happening. When you have blow-ups on the sideline happen all the time. It happens all the time. You see blow-ups. And really all this stems from the offseason. Because Jalen Ramsey, drums to his own beat. He trains in his hometown in Tennessee, in Nashville. And, Tom Coughlin is a stickler on, needed a certain way. I need all my guys in the offseason program. I need you to be 5 minutes early, because 5 minutes early is being on time.
You want you to park your Studebaker in the parking lot?
Exactly. So, listen, with Jalen Ramsey, you got that combined with the fact that he's probably looking at a situation, my skill set is not being utilized the way it should be. Here it is. I'm a man-to-man corner guy, and here it is. I'm playing in a system where I'm playing zone.
Getting embarrassed because the safety's not where it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Why are you guys not utilizing my skill set to the best of my ability? That's what real coaches do. So Jalen Ramsey is doing what you're starting to see more and more of these superstar guys in the National Football League do. Flex his muscle.
And we're seeing teams concede, which I
think is
surprising.
I'm going to throw it to you like this.
But see, it's only a select few guys in the National Football League that can almost call their own shots in their particular situation.
Right. Stephen A., I'm going to throw it to you like this. The question is, what are the chances Ramsey Jags work things out, right? They say never, so I'll just say zero. I'll just say zero, and the floor is yours.
Well, let me say this to you. Obviously my position was winning cures all and just win some football games, particularly when you look at their schedule and what they've got coming up outside of Tennessee. Denver's got a suspect quarterback situation, suspect period. Carolina, Kansas is compromised. Drew Brees ain't in New Orleans. The Cincinnati Bengals are what they are. The Jets are what they are. So you got those 5 games. But I just want to correct myself. I'm going to agree with the both of you, Max, Damian, because in the last hour and a half that I've been on the air doing this show, I got texts from 2 people close to the situation. They said it ain't about Doug Marrone at all. It's about Tom Coughlin. Yep. Jalen Ramsey is completely done with that man. He does not want to be in Jacksonville under Tom Coughlin's stewardship. He wants no parts of it. That's what I've just been told over the last hour and a half. They said that Doug Marrone it's residue from the fact that he obviously has to answer to Coughlin. Coughlin has him in that position. But it's definitely Coughlin that Jalen Ramsey has a problem with. He don't want to be there with that man.
That's why I said earlier, it's a two-way street. I'm not just saying, Coughlin is the boss. I mean, he is the boss, but look, sometimes personalities, it's oil and water. You don't even have to tell me. If a player starts chirping about what he doesn't like about the team, that will always be the oil to Coughlin's water. There's a way you can complain in a Coughlin organization where you may be able to come to terms with him, and there's a way you can't. And Jalen Ramsey is the blueprint of if you want to play, and not that he does, but if you want out, do what Jalen Ramsey did.
But Max, what they're saying to me is that Jalen Ramsey isn't acting that way, and because he's acting that way, him and Tom Coughlin just don't vibe. No, Jalen Ramsey is acting this way because of Tom Coughlin. Mm-hmm. He wants out from under that man.
By the way, Coughlin has done things like, you got to show up 5 minutes early to the meeting or else you're late. You know, he has his own way of doing things. He has a very good track record, better than most. I wouldn't say elite of the elite, but better than most. So he believes in it. But it's not for everybody, and it's also not. He doesn't have the best track record, of all time. So there are players who aren't going to like it.
And I also say, remember when Jalen Ramsey reported at training camp with the Brinks truck?
Oh yeah.
Listen, I can bet you that didn't play well with Tom Coughlin. So that's another thing added onto this whole situation.
True. All right, let's get to the team, Damian, that you have in the Super Bowl. Stephen A's Dallas Cowboys taking on the Dolphins Sunday. The Cowboys are more than a 21-point favorite. Here's what Zeke and Amari think about the Fins.
This is still the NFL. Those guys are still pro football players. They're great players, and no team's gonna come over on Sunday and just lay down and just let you get away with the win. So we're gonna come out fighting, and we just gotta approach it like any other game.
I know when I was on a team who probably got beat like that, I didn't feel like we sucked. I just felt like we had a bad game, and that's how I feel about the Dolphins. I don't feel like they sucked. They just got blew out one time or two times.
All right.
They're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Let me. I think this topic right here, I think it's going to speak a lot to Jason Garrett. A lot to Jason Garrett about, are you going to let the transcripts and listen to his press conferences every week? He talks about every team the same. Every team is a Super Bowl contender, whether it's the Miami Dolphins or the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know playing up under Coach Belichick, there was no letting anyone slide, regardless who the opponent is. To me, this is going to speak volumes of Jason Garrett, how this team is going to look this week. Because I guarantee you, you're going to go in all this week and you're looking at the film and you're like, wow, we should just we should just mollywop these boys, and it would be easy.
Mollywop?
Yeah, mollywop these boys. And it'll be easy for you to let your guard down because you're hearing all the praise from everyone on TV, how great you look. You're playing the Miami Dolphins team. So to me, I need to see Jason Garrett have his team focused.
It's not about professional courtesy. You don't humiliate the other team or anything. It's about these are world-class athletes. You can lose if you don't take them seriously. But, guys, what are we talking about here? The Dolphins are one of the worst teams we've ever seen. They probably win a game at some point this year. Usually a bad team wins at least a game.
The worst.
Okay, that's your opinion. I can't argue too strenuously against that. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, because I don't know if you could come up with somebody worse.
Well, I'll say this: if they win a game this year, which more likely if they win one than they win none. But if they win it, can you imagine being the team that loses to these Dolphins? And if it's the Cowboys, I'm going to laugh so hard. But we all know the Cowboys ain't losing to no Dolphins. They're going to beat them 1 billion to nothing. This is going to be a curb stomping.
Stephen A?
Obviously, it's not fair for the Cowboys to take the Dolphins lightly. The Dolphins have been outscored 102-10 in the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Usually when you're bad and you want to quit, it's usually after the halfway mark, the season's over, it can't be officially over soon enough, you just want to quit. But for Cats to one out and for you to look like straight garbage from week one, it's just atrocious. Now, to the Cowboys, here's why you can't take them lightly. 2 reasons. Number one, this is football. This is a physical violence sport, and no matter how lopsided of a discrepancy the talent level is, the fact of the matter is it's still a violent sport. You go out there and get hurt, particularly when you go in half-heartedly about things. Number one. But number two, what the hell have the Dallas Cowboys accomplished? You ain't been in the Super Bowl since 1995. You've got about 2 or 3 playoff victories in that same 24-year span. Who the hell are you to take anyone for granted? Yeah. That's the key with understanding the Cowboys. That's the key with literally focusing on Jason Garrett, who's coaching for a new contract with Jerry Jones, by the way, raving about Kellen Moore more than he's raving about Jason Garrett. The fact of the matter is, when you look at the Cowboys, it's about setting the tone and doing, Max, what Bernard King said many, many years ago in the 80s. When you have an inferior opponent, you stomp them. Yeah. You annihilate them because that's what you're supposed to do, as opposed to taking them lightly. That's what you're supposed to do.
And if Stephen Ross wants to do something about it, I know Equinox has been having some issues since the owner of the Dolphins, Stephen Ross, is involved in some controversy.
Soul Cycle.
Maybe he can give them a discount to Equinox, get that team in shape. What's he going to do to
How
stop
about
the
giving them a free
Cowboys?
pass? How about giving them a
What's he
free
going to
pass?
do to stop the
Free
Cowboys?
pass?
The Cowboys are loaded everywhere you look and are playing for something. The Dolphins are intentionally, ownership, management, they're intentionally tanking the season. They're trading guys. By the way, they are compiling draft capital. That's for sure. And it's in Dallas. Oh, my goodness.
And
the Cowboys quarterback's playing for a contract?
You just gotta wonder whether or not. I mean, it's almost to the point where you find yourself looking at Stephen Ross and these guys are going like this. Why the hell are you even playing for a flight for them to go there? Well, I mean, for what? Save some money. You understand? Just forfeit the damn thing officially. Why lie about it? That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is
for the
right
players.
All right.
I really do.
You know who else it's bad for? The Jets. And Jets safety Jamal Adams was all in his feelings yesterday when he ripped the NFL for fining him for a late hit on Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield during Monday night's game. Adams tweeted this: "This league is a damn joke. I signed up to play football, not two-hand touch BS. I don't give a damn about these soft rules protecting quarterbacks. I'm going to play my brand of football every time I step on the field. Get money." Damian, how bad is this for the NFL?
What Jamal Adams is saying?
Yeah.
Listen, I love Jamal Adams. I do. I love the way he played. He approaches the game, the way he plays the game. But he has to understand, what is the most important position in sports? The quarterback.
That's why he's going after the quarterback.
Okay, and when quarterbacks get hurt, guess what happens? Ratings go down. Revenue goes down. Okay, so I get it. I understand where he's coming from. And those type of plays, they're bang-bang type plays, and it's hard for the defensive guys to really react and try to pull up. But he has to understand the bigger picture that the league is going to do everything it can possibly do to protect these quarterbacks and keep these quarterbacks playing. Because that's what people tune in to see.
Of course, you're right. But you know what Jamal Adams' job is? To make the ratings go down. His job is to go knock that quarterback out.
Is that in his best interest?
The point is, as a defensive player, as long as you're not breaking the rules, and if the rules say, well, as soon as the ball's out of his hands, you can't even breathe on him, we all know that's a physical impossibility if you're trying to do your job to the best of your ability. So what Jamal Adams is saying, I take my hat off to him. I'm not trying to break any rules, but I'm coming after your quarterback. And if what you're saying is you want to make that illegal for me to do my job, I'm still doing my job.
Well, what I think Jamal Adams, he's one of my favorite people in the NFL without question. And boy, he ball. But I think the important thing to point out is that he has the video to back him up. It wasn't a headshot, and it wasn't a shot too low, attacking the knees or beyond. He hit you where you should want to be hit. And like I said earlier on the show, Damian, I think the NFL should focus on encouraging guys, punish the headshots, punish the shots that are too low. But anything above the knee and below the neck, be a little bit more lenient. And I think that will go a long way towards helping them in their quest for more safety and entertaining us football-wise.
And be consistent. I think that's the biggest thing.
Be consistent.
Be consistent.
Mm-hmm. All right. Will Jackson Mahomes be the next Peyton Brady? That was our poll question today. 70% of yous all said no. First Take headed to Wilmington, Delaware. HBCU week is tomorrow. A lot of surprises. Please don't miss the show.
Stephen ain't gonna
turn up. If you're a fan
up.
of First Take, you'll see why tomorrow. Bye, guys.